Imagine a time long ago, when doctors were not just fixing broken bones but also trying to understand the amazing and sometimes mysterious world inside our heads. That's where our story begins, with a very smart doctor named Carl Jung. He wasn't like a regular doctor who gave you medicine for a cough. No, Carl Jung was a doctor for the mind, a place that holds all our thoughts, feelings, and even our dreams. Carl Jung lived in a beautiful country called Switzerland, with tall mountains and clear lakes. He spent many, many years thinking deeply about people and why they act the way they do. He wanted to figure out the secrets of our inner world, the part of us that nobody else can see. He believed that inside each of us, there's a whole universe of ideas and feelings, like a hidden garden waiting to be explored. He wasn't just guessing either. Carl Jung talked to many people, listened to their stories, and read lots of old books to learn everything he could. He was like a detective, but instead of solving crimes, he was solving the puzzles of the human mind. He discovered that sometimes, parts of us seem to be talking to each other, or even having a little argument. He had some very interesting ideas about these different parts. One of his most famous ideas was about something he called the ego, and another he called the soul. These aren't things you can touch or see, but Carl Jung believed they are very real parts of who we are. He thought they were always interacting, sometimes peacefully, and sometimes in what felt like a secret war. So, as we begin our adventure, picture Carl Jung, with his kind eyes and thoughtful expression, inviting us to look inside ourselves. He's going to help us understand these two very important parts, the ego, which often likes to be loud and in charge, and the soul, which is usually much quieter but holds a lot of deep wisdom. Get ready to explore the hidden world Carl Jung spent his life trying to understand. Now that we've met Carl Jung, let's dive into one of his big ideas, the ego. Imagine the ego like a little captain steering your ship through the day. This captain is the part of you that says I, or me. When you say, I want ice cream, or I can kick that ball far, that's your ego talking. It's the part of you that knows your name, what you look like in the mirror, and what you like to do. The ego is very important. It helps you make decisions big and small. Should I wear my red shirt or my blue shirt today? Should I finish my homework before playing or after? That's the ego at work, helping you figure things out. It also helps you feel like you are a special person, different from everyone else. It wants you to feel good about yourself and be successful. Think of the ego as your everyday boss. It's the part that wants to be good at games, get a good grade on a test, or be picked first for a team. It likes to be noticed and to feel important. If someone says, "Wow, you drew a great picture," your ego feels happy and proud. If you don't get picked for a game, your ego might feel a little sad or even angry. The ego also helps you understand the world around you. It learns rules like, don't touch a hot stove, or look both ways before crossing the street. It keeps you safe and helps you get along with other people by understanding what's expected. It's always trying to make sense of things and to keep everything running smoothly in your daily life. But sometimes, the ego can get a little too big. It might want all the attention or think it knows everything. It can get a bit bossy, not just with others, but with you too. It might push you to always win, or to always be right, even when it's okay to lose or make a mistake. Carl Jung saw that this captain part of us is very powerful, and understanding it is the first step to understanding ourselves better. While the ego is busy being the captain, making plans, and wanting to win, there's another very special part of us that Carl Jung called the soul. Think of the soul not as a loud captain, but more like a wise old owl that lives deep inside a quiet forest within you. This owl doesn't shout or demand attention. Instead, it watches, listens, and knows things that are truly important, even if they aren't shiny or loud. The soul is the part of you that feels a warm glow when you help someone, or a deep peace when you look at a beautiful sunset. It's the part that feels happy not just because you got a new toy, but because you shared it with a friend. The soul isn't worried about being the best or having the most. It cares about kindness, love, connection, and what makes your heart feel truly full. Unlike the ego, which is all about me, the soul often thinks about we and us. It connects you to bigger things, like nature, or to all the people in the world. When you feel a strong sense of wonder, like when you look at the stars or listen to a beautiful song, that's your soul being awake and happy. It's a feeling that goes deeper than just being proud or getting what you want. The soul doesn't always use words. It speaks in feelings, in quiet urges, and sometimes in dreams. It might give you a gentle push to be kind, even when it's hard. It might make you feel a little sad when you see someone hurting, showing you that you care. It knows what feels right and good, not just for a moment, but for your whole life. Carl Jung believed that the soul holds our deepest truth and purpose. It's the part of us that wants to grow, to learn, and to experience the world in a meaningful way. It's a source of calm and wisdom, always there, even when the ego is busy making a lot of noise. Understanding the soul helps us remember what truly matters, far beyond what we have or what we can do. Now that we understand the ego as our inner captain, let's look closer at some of its big ideas. The ego often thinks it needs to be special, to stand out from the crowd. Imagine. While the ego is busy trying to be the loudest and proudest, the soul has a much different way of communicating. It doesn't shout or demand attention. Instead, the soul speaks to us in gentle whispers, soft feelings, and a quiet sense of knowing. It's like the feeling you get when you're sitting by a calm lake, and everything just feels peaceful and right. Think about a time you felt really good inside, not because you won a game or got a prize, but for a different reason. Maybe you saw a friend who was sad and you shared your snack with them, and a warm feeling spread through your chest. Or perhaps you spent time playing outside, watching the clouds, and felt a deep calm wash over you. Those good feelings, that sense of peace or warmth, are often the soul trying to tell you something important. The soul often nudges us towards kindness, even when it's hard. It might be that little voice that tells you to share your toys, even if you really want to keep them all to yourself. Or it might make you feel a little worried when you see someone being mean, showing you that your heart cares about fairness. These aren't big, loud commands, they are gentle suggestions, like a soft breeze. Carl Jung believed that these quiet messages are vital. The soul doesn't care about being special in the eyes of others or winning a competition. It cares about being true to who you are, about connecting with love, and about finding joy in simple things. It helps us feel a sense of belonging, not just to our family or friends, but to the whole world. Sometimes the soul speaks through a feeling of wonder. When you look up at the stars on a clear night and feel tiny but also part of something huge and beautiful, that's the soul connecting you to something bigger than yourself. It's a feeling that leaves you calm and full of a quiet happiness. Learning to listen for these gentle whispers helps us find our way to what truly fills our hearts. So, we have the ego, which likes to be in charge and wants to win, and the soul, which speaks in quiet feelings of peace and kindness. What happens when these two parts of us want different things? This is where the secret war Carl Jung talked about often begins. It's not a loud fight with swords, but a quiet struggle inside our own minds and hearts. Imagine you have a brand new, super cool toy. Your ego, that inner captain, might shout, "Keep it all to yourself! Don't let anyone else touch it! It's yours!" It wants to feel special because it has the best toy, and it doesn't want to share the glory. It wants to keep what it sees as its own. But then, you see a friend looking a little sad, and they don't have a new toy to play with. Suddenly, a gentle whisper comes from your soul. It doesn't use words, but you feel a little tug in your heart. It's that warm feeling that says, Sharing would make them happy. It would make you happy too, in a different way. Your soul knows that true joy can come from making others smile. Now you have a choice. Your ego is pulling you one way, saying, "Mine! Mine!" And your soul is gently nudging you another way, saying, "Share. Be kind." This is a perfect example of when the ego and soul disagree. The ego focuses on what it wants for itself, right now. The soul looks at the bigger picture, thinking about connection and what feels good in your heart over time. This can happen in many ways. Maybe your ego wants to tell a little fib to get out of trouble, but your soul makes you feel a bit yucky inside, knowing honesty is better. Or your ego wants to be the first in line, pushing others aside, while your soul feels a pang of guilt, wishing you had waited patiently. These moments of inner conflict are a part of being human, and Carl Jung believed understanding them is key to growing up. When our ego and soul want different things, it can feel a lot like being caught in the middle of a tug-of-war. One part of you is pulling one way, and the other part is pulling the opposite way. This can leave us feeling truly mixed up, confused, and sometimes even a little bit unhappy. It's like having two different voices talking in your head at the same time, each telling you to do something different. Imagine you're at the park, and you see another child has the exact swing you want. Your ego might scream, "Run faster! Get there first! That swing is yours!" But then, your soul might gently say, "Wait your turn. It's okay to share the swings." If you listen to your ego and push past someone, you might get the swing, but then you might feel a little uneasy inside, like a small knot in your tummy. That knot is your soul trying to tell you that something didn't feel quite right. This feeling of being mixed up can make you feel grumpy or unsure. Maybe you snap at a friend, even though you didn't mean to, because your inner conflict made you feel stressed. Or you might feel a strange sadness after getting something you thought you wanted, because deep down, your soul knows there was a kinder or more honest way to get it. Carl Jung saw that these moments of confusion are not bad. They are actually a chance for us to learn. When we feel mixed up, it means both our ego and our soul are awake and trying to guide us. The trick is to figure out which voice will lead us to real happiness, the kind that lasts longer than just a moment. It takes practice to listen closely to these inner voices. The ego is often loud and clear, demanding things right away. The soul, remember, is usually much quieter, like a gentle whisper. So, when you feel confused, it's a signal to pause, take a deep breath, and try to listen beyond the loud demands to the deeper, quieter knowing within. This is how we begin to understand the secret war. Even though the ego can be loud and seem to know exactly what it wants, Carl Jung taught us that the soul often holds a deeper, truer wisdom. It's like how a little stream might babble loudly over rocks, but a deep river flows quietly and knows the way to the ocean. The soul knows what is truly best for us, even if the ego doesn't understand it right away. Think about a time when you really wanted something, maybe a big, fancy toy. Your ego would be very excited, saying, "Get it! Get it!" You needed to be happy. But perhaps, deep down, your soul knew that playing with your friends, even without a new toy, would bring you more lasting joy. If you chose the friends over the toy, you might have felt a quiet happiness that was different from the quick excitement the toy would have given you. That's the soul's wisdom at work. The soul understands that true happiness isn't always about getting what we want right now. It's about feeling good inside, about being kind, about loving and being loved, and about growing as a person. It knows that sometimes, doing the harder thing, like apologizing when you're wrong, will make you feel much better in the long run than letting your ego insist you're always right. This wisdom of the soul isn't something we learn from books or teachers. It's something we feel in our hearts, a deep knowing that guides us towards goodness and peace. It might tell you to be patient when you're frustrated, or to forgive someone who made a mistake. These are not always easy choices, and the ego might protest loudly. Why should I wait? The ego might grumble. Why should I forgive? But when we listen to that quiet, wise voice of the soul, we often find that the outcome is much better. We feel calmer, happier, and more connected to others. The soul helps us make choices that are good for our whole self, not just for the part of us that wants to win or be special. It's a guiding light, always pointing us towards what truly nourishes our spirit. Since the soul speaks in whispers and gentle feelings, how can we make sure we hear it over the ego's loud demands? Carl Jung gave us some helpful clues. It's like learning to listen for a soft melody when there's a lot of noise around. We need to create a quiet space for the soul to be heard. One of the best ways to listen to your soul is to simply be quiet. In our busy world, there are always screens, games, and people talking. But if you can find a few minutes each day to just sit still, perhaps in your room or a quiet corner of the garden, you might start to hear those gentle whispers. Close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and just notice how you feel. Don't try to think too hard, just let your feelings come. That calm feeling, that sense of peace, is often your soul speaking to you. Another wonderful way to connect with your soul is by spending time in nature. Carl Jung believed that nature helps us feel connected to something bigger and older than ourselves. Go for a walk in a park, sit by a tree, or watch the clouds drift by. When you're outside, away from all the hustle and bustle, your mind can relax. You might notice the beauty of a flower, feel the sun on your skin, or hear the birds singing. These moments of wonder and calm are perfect for the soul to share its wisdom. You can also listen to your soul through creative play. When you draw a picture, build with blocks, sing a song, or dance just for fun, you're letting your imagination run free. The ego often wants things to be perfect, but the soul just wants to express itself. Don't worry if your drawing isn't perfect, just enjoy the act of creating. That joy and freedom are messages from your soul. Remember, listening to your soul isn't about finding a quick answer. It's about building a gentle connection. The more you practice being quiet, spending time in nature, and playing creatively, the easier it will be to hear what your wise soul is trying to tell you. It's always there, waiting for you to listen. It might seem like the ego is always getting us into trouble, wanting to win all the time or pushing us to be selfish. But Carl Jung didn't think the ego was bad. In fact, he knew it had a very important job to do. Think of it this way: if the soul is like the wise owl, the ego is like a busy builder. It's the part of us that gets things done in the world. Without our ego, it would be hard to do many everyday things. The ego helps you decide what to eat for breakfast, how to tie your shoes, and how to get to school on time. It helps you learn new skills, like riding a bike or reading a book. When you practice something to get better, that's your ego helping you focus and try hard. It wants you to succeed and navigate through the world. The ego is like your personal manager. It organizes your thoughts, remembers facts, and helps you solve problems. If you have homework to do, your ego is the part that helps you sit down, focus, and complete the tasks. It helps you set goals, like wanting to build a tall tower with blocks or learning a new dance move. It gives you the energy and drive to make those things happen. It also protects you. The ego helps you understand rules and dangers, like, don't talk to strangers, or look both ways before crossing the street. It helps you learn from your mistakes so you don't make them again. It's always working to keep you safe and help you fit into the world around you. So, while the ego can sometimes be a bit bossy or too focused on itself, it's not our enemy. It's a necessary part of us that allows us to live, learn, and grow in the outside world. The secret isn't to get rid of the ego, but to understand its job and help it work well with the quiet wisdom of the soul. We need both parts to live a full and happy life. Since both the ego and the soul are important, the real goal isn't to pick a winner in their secret war. Instead, Carl Jung taught us how to help them become friends and work together, like a super team. Imagine your inner captain, the ego, and your wise owl, the soul, sitting down to talk and make a plan together. How do we do this? It starts with listening to both of them. When your ego is really excited about something, like wanting to win a race, acknowledge that feeling. It's okay to want to do your best. But then, take a moment to also listen for your soul's whisper. Your soul might gently remind you. Remember to be kind to the other runners, and enjoy the fun of the race, not just the winning. When the ego and soul work together, magic happens. The ego provides the energy and the drive to set goals and work hard, while the soul makes sure those goals are kind, meaningful, and lead to true happiness. For example, your ego might want to build the tallest sandcastle on the beach. That's a great goal. But your soul might add, and when you're done, invite your little brother to help you decorate it, and don't worry if it falls down, just enjoy building it together. This way, the ego isn't just focused on being the best, but also on being the best you, which includes being thoughtful and joyful. The ego learns to use its power for good, guided by the soul's wisdom. It's like the busy builder, ego, listening to the wise architect, soul, to build a house that is not only strong but also beautiful and welcoming. Making friends with both parts means you're not fighting with yourself anymore. You're learning to value both your desire to achieve and your desire to connect and be kind. It takes practice, like learning any new skill, but it leads to a much more peaceful and happy feeling inside. This is the heart of Carl Jung's teaching, bringing all parts of ourselves into harmony. Finding balance between the ego and the soul is like learning to ride a bicycle. At first, it might feel wobbly, and you might fall sometimes. But with practice, you learn to steer smoothly, using both sides to keep you upright and moving forward. The goal is not for one part to always win, but for both the ego and the soul to be happy and work together in harmony. Think of your day. Your ego helps you get dressed, eat your breakfast, and remember your schoolwork. It makes sure you try hard in class and play your best in games. These are all good things. But then, your soul reminds you to be kind to your friends, to share your toys, and to enjoy the feeling of the sunshine on your face. A balanced life means giving both parts what they need. Your ego needs challenges and successes to feel strong and capable. It needs to learn and grow. Your soul, on the other hand, needs quiet time, connection, kindness, and moments of wonder to feel peaceful and full of love. If you only listen to your ego, you might always be trying to win, to be the best, and to get more things. This can make you feel tired, stressed, or even lonely, because you're not paying attention to your heart's need for connection. If you only listen to your soul, you might always want to be kind and peaceful, but find it hard to get your homework done or stand up for yourself when you need to. So, finding balance means asking yourself, what does my ego need right now to feel capable? And what does my soul need to feel happy and connected? Maybe after a busy day of school, ego's work, your soul needs some quiet time to read a book or play outside with a friend. Maybe after a peaceful weekend, soul's rest, your ego is ready to tackle a new challenge. Carl Jung believed that when we find this balance, we feel more whole and complete. We're not fighting ourselves, but working as a unified team. This is how we move from a secret war to a happy partnership within. When we learn to balance our ego and soul, something wonderful happens. We start to feel much stronger and happier inside. It's like building a strong house with a firm foundation. If the ego is the busy builder and the soul is the wise architect, then a house built by both will be beautiful, safe, and last a long, long time. Imagine a tree with deep roots and strong branches. The roots are like your soul, keeping you steady and connected to what truly matters. The branches are like your ego, reaching out to the world, growing, and achieving. A tree with both strong roots and strong branches can stand tall through any storm. That's how you feel when your ego and soul are friends. You become more confident, not just in showing off what you can do, that's the ego's happy feeling, but in who you are as a kind and caring person. That's the soul's happy feeling. When you make a mistake, your ego might feel a little bad, but your soul will gently remind you that it's okay to learn and try again. This helps you not be so hard on yourself. You'll also find that you feel more peaceful. That confusing tug-of-war feeling happens less often because your inner captain and wise owl are working together. You'll know what choices feel right in your heart, not just what seems exciting at the moment. This inner peace is a very strong kind of happiness, one that stays with you even when things outside are busy or tricky. Carl Jung saw that this inner strength helps us face the world with a calm heart and a brave spirit. You learn to trust yourself more. You understand that true success isn't just about winning a prize, but about being a good person, enjoying your life, and connecting with others. This makes you a truly strong and happy person, from the inside out. As we near the end of our journey with Carl Jung, it's time to remember his biggest and most important idea. He spent his whole life trying to tell us that understanding these parts of ourselves, the busy ego and the wise soul, is not just an interesting thought. It's the key to living truly better lives. Carl Jung wasn't just talking about being good at school or having lots of toys. He was talking about a deeper kind of goodness and happiness that comes from within. He believed that when we know about our ego and our soul, and how they work, we can make smarter choices. We can choose to be kind even when our ego wants to be selfish. We can choose peace even when our ego wants to fight. His big idea is that when we learn to listen to both voices, and help them work together, we become more whole. Imagine a picture that's missing a few pieces. It's still a picture, but it's not complete. When you find all the pieces and put them together, the picture looks perfect and makes full sense. That's what happens inside us when the ego and soul are in harmony. This wholeness helps us in so many ways. We become more understanding of ourselves and others. We learn to forgive more easily. We feel more brave when facing problems because we have our inner wisdom to guide us. And we feel a lasting joy that doesn't go away just because a game is lost or a toy breaks. Carl Jung's message is a gift. The power to live a good life isn't just out there in the world, it's inside you. It's in the way you listen to your heart, the way you choose kindness, and the way you bring your different inner parts into a friendly team. His ideas help us unlock a secret power we all have to be truly happy and strong. We've journeyed through the mind with Carl Jung, exploring the ego, our inner captain, and the soul, our wise owl. We've seen how they sometimes clash, creating a secret war inside us. But here's the most important secret of all. This isn't just your secret. This inner dance between wanting to achieve and wanting to connect, between being strong and being kind, is happening inside everyone. Every single person you meet, your family, your friends, your teachers, even people you don't know, has an ego and a soul. They all experience moments when their ego wants one thing and their soul whispers another. Knowing this can help you understand yourself better, and it can also help you understand others with more kindness and patience. When someone seems a little grumpy or selfish, maybe their ego is just having a loud day, and their soul is trying to be heard. The wonderful news is that you now have the tools to help find peace in your own inner world. Remember to be quiet sometimes, to listen to the gentle feelings from your soul. Remember that your ego is important for getting things done, but it's happiest when it works together with your soul's wisdom. This isn't a race to win. It's a journey to discover who you truly are and how to live with a full heart. So, as our story ends, carry this inner secret with you. Know that you have a powerful ego and a wise soul, and that learning to bring them into friendship will make you a truly strong, kind, and happy person. Carl Jung's greatest gift was showing us that the most amazing adventure of all happens inside ourselves, and that by understanding it, we can bring more peace, joy, and understanding to the world around us. Your inner peace starts with you.